So this week we're going to continue what's in and out for technology, which we kind of started a couple weeks ago. Beginning of every year, everybody starts sending us our prognostications for what technology is going to be in, what's going to be out. And this week we're going to hear from NIST in the article "Ideas Whose Time Has Come and Gone." Out. First thing, out. The single atomic clock.
No.
Yes, it is. I'm sorry. Single atomic clock is out.
What?
Instead, we're going to have dual atomic clocks because everybody knows two atomic clocks are better than one atomic clock. One is just never enough.
And why build one when you can build two for twice the price?
When there's a reason for it. Physicists at NIST announced in November 2016 that they have set yet another world record for clock stability when they combined two experimental atomic clocks based on the ytterbium atoms. According to NIST, the approach used by the scientists ultimately may lead to a reduced atomic clock size and complexity and a state-of-the-art performance, which means, and this is the important bit about it, we may soon be able to see extremely good portable atomic clocks.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the whole idea. Right now, the atomic clock, it's really not portable, but the stability and stuff they can get from having two and making it portable means they might be able to put it up on satellites or in space station. It's going to be more portable, and it's stuff for important for things like geodesy, GPS, that sort of thing.
Sure,
so that's kind of the motivation behind it. Also in the more is better column is DNA markers. The number of DNA markers in forensic DNA profile is going up. Currently, DNA profiles in the United States are created by looking at 13 specific regions of DNA called markers. On January 1st, 2017, the FBI started requiring that all DNA profiles entered into its combined DNA index system, or CODIS, be based on at least 20 markers.
Wow.
Another thing that's out, the International Prototype Kilogram. And what's in is the watt balance.
Yep.
Now, we've talked about this several times because this is actually a really, really big deal. The kilogram standard will no longer be this hunk of metal sitting in a bell jar somewhere in Paris, but instead will be based on a physical constant.
And that's not the only standard they're doing this with. Not the only physical.
Right, but it's about the last one. It's about the last one left because actually the kilogram one has so much effect on other things that once the watt balance is in place and the kilogram is based on physical measurement. I mean a physical standard. Then a lot of other Avogadro's constant and a couple other Planck's constant all come into place as well. One of my favorites, oobleck. Do you ever placed with oobleck?
No, but I saw it a little bit in this article.
Well, oobleck is a slurry of starch and water, and it behaves like silly putty. You played with silly putty, right?
Sure.
Well, if you put your hand into it or squeeze it gently, it's just squeezable, it's oozy, right? Like silly putty. But if you hit it really hard, it's solid.
Yeah.
And the question has always been, is it friction between particles or is it viscosity? Well, NIST concludes that it's actually both. Oobleck is called a non-Newtonian substance and go back and forth, as we said, between liquid and solid based on how you treat it. It goes from this gooey slurry, when in the case of oobleck, to an almost solid substance, either by pounding it or squeezing it. By the way, if you've played with silly putty, you know that you can stretch silly putty, but if you pull it really hard, it snaps. Or you can mold it like clay, but if you make a ball out of it and throw it on the floor, it bounces like a super ball.
You can also read your comics.
And you can, that's right, and you can put it on comics and lift the comics right off the page. And what causes the change, friction or viscosity, has long been debated, and as it turns out, it's both. Finally, what's out? Crazy, like it shows on this crazy password requirements. That's out. What's in is free range passwords.
Are those passwords that chickens use?
Yes. Oh, actually, the nice thing about it, is you'll be able to use a word like chicken space scratch.
Free range chicken.
Free range, exactly.
Free range
if that wants to be a password. Well, because it turns out that you're not the only one worn out by all the crazy password requirements. In May 2016, NIST offered the public a preview of the draft Digital Authentication Guideline document, which includes new guidance on password policies to be used by the U.S. government, and we would assume later the public. Included in the draft recommendations, and this is the good one, allowing for longer passwords, well, who cares, removing special character requirements, which drive me up the wall, allowing spaces and most other characters in passwords. So if your password wanted to be chicken scratch space scratch, it could be that.
Could be that.
You can have a space. Or it could be your name, right?
Your name, right. Mm-hmm.
All right?
Don't know how secure that would be, but okay.
And also doing away with the annoying password hints.
Right.
I don't know what my first grade teacher's name is. You ever seen that? They give you a list of...
Miss Beato? No? What's the matter with you?
I don't even remember the first grade. Man.
That's because it was in 1912.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think it was like I don't know. Anyway, all this is going to improve usability, and not just usability, but security as well. By the way, NIST also announced the release of 3 or 4 new elements in the periodic table of elements.
Yeah, wow. NIST has been busy. They always are. All right.